right, without being antagonistic.
So
And
you're
it's
telling me to just tell the partial truth, not the full truth about him.
well,
No.
there's a way to go about it instead of being like,
The full truth would say,
Be like,
"Gosh, you are really dumb. You are really, really dumb."
right,
That's
you
the
know,
full truth.
and you know,
it's
you
like,
might
hey,
be
did you
able,
hear they're firing people for not kneeling?
right.
Did Ski hear that
Hey,
story?
I don't know.
I don't
Yeah,
think he was
I've
here.
heard of people getting fired for not kneeling, or like not only a couple stories, but I don't know
Be
if
like,
it's
hey,
like
did you see the videos of all these white people getting the shit beat out of them for just trying to tell them to not smash their store and steal from them?
I've hardly seen that. I've seen a
Oh, I'm
couple.
not talking like I'm not saying that to you. I'm just saying that as what I would tell Sweet's mother-in-law.
Oh, okay. Well, mother-in-laws.
I'm giving
That's just the
examples of how
problem
you
right
could.
there.
I'm giving examples of how you could have the conversation without just being like you're a fucking idiot.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, in order to have a real conversation, especially when you're challenging someone else's ideas, you have to be willing to offend them. Because people hate being wrong. So you have to be, so in order to really challenge their ideas, you have to be willing to
Right. Push the
offend a
envelope a little
belief
bit.
that they have. Yeah.
Yeah, you have
And,
to convict them.
Luckily, with liberals, it doesn't take much to get them off their fucking rails.
right.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah,
say
but
Just
white.
say, "Oh, you don't believe
You
in
could
the
just
great
walk up
white
to it, say
hope?"
white, and they'd probably flip out.
yeah, I remember,
Especially if
I
they were
was,
talking about all these things.
right. I was in a forum, and I forgot what exactly the conversation was. It was about, something to do with, um, having kids. It was, is same-sex incest as bad as,
Same-sex
hetero?
incest?
Yeah. So, well, one of the big arguments against incest is that it creates birth defects. Uh, other than being weird.
If you get
But,
pregnant.
right. So someone posed the question, is same-sex incest as bad as normal incest?
Who gets
Because
these ideas?
you don't have, I don't know. This is
I don't
back when
know.
I
It's way worse. It's gay.
this is back when I was younger and more innocent. Um, and I wound up having a conversation with a handful of people on there, and I was like, well, look, you know, this one guy was saying that the whole point of like sex and all that is to have kids, and like the whole point of that is one man, one woman, whatever. And someone was like, oh well, what if you can't have kids? And he was like, oh well, that sucks, but
And you enjoy each other.
then that's obviously not in the cards. And the guy wound up kind of going off the rails a bit, and he was kind of like a white nationalist. And this is like 10 years ago. Before like people were kind of sort of taking that on as a, huh?
Pussies.
Yeah, before people were pussies, yes.
Or they're
Or they were
beta
taking white nationalists as what they're trying to claim now. Is that what you're saying?
All right. And I remember talking to my dad about it because like there were some points that the guy was saying that I agreed with, and it was like, yeah, I think that you make a couple of decent points, but I disagree with this stuff. And my dad was like, yeah, you don't want to be seen agreeing with someone like that because it'll cause you problems and whatever. And I'm like, if he's making a valid point, it doesn't matter. Like, Can you hit that tortoise by chance? Someone else just did. I'll go ahead and knock his other track out.
Ram. He's tracked.
But yeah, I mean, like, there was one day on Facebook I was having a conversation with somebody, and there was something a radical feminist said that I had agreed with. Couldn't remember what it was. But, and I was like, yeah, normally I would never agree with someone like this, but, you know, when you're right...
Yeah, when you're actually saying the truth, or... You know, you gotta acknowledge it. Well, that's the problem with what we're seeing. Left-right paradigm, the racism stuff. It's like they're dividing it by that because they can't divide it by ideology. They can't divide it by truths, you know?
Right.
Because we could everybody want, you know, some changes made. And if we ever came, you know, together and all this shit and said, all right, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna re-discuss the whole motherfucker. How about that?
Right.
You bring the Constitution to start with, and then we talk from there. What kind of society can we fucking change from the bullshit that's going on right now? I mean, this COVID stuff should be the wake up for that. You know, that's the... You can blame the Black Lives Matter stuff on black people, white people, you know, while the government skates. But what they did to shut down everybody and everything as a government is easily, you know, that's who did it. You know, that's...
Yeah.
It wasn't
Like
black people, it wasn't white people, it was the damn government.
Yeah. I get sent this morning, but they're wanting to impeach our governor now over that.
Right, exactly. And I think what I was getting at was, if they divide us by race and divide us by stuff, they keep us from accepting other people's truths. Because they have some valid points, and we do too, and we can, you know, we got like the same ones in common, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right.
And if they can keep us divided, then everything the other people say, people are just going to inherently disagree with. And just, you know, disregard it, I guess. Like when Antifa says we got to get rid of for-profit prisons, that should be one that we highlight and say, absolutely. Like, let's agree on that.
For-profit prisons. What? That's my, like, best stock, bro.
Yeah. Fucking Jew.
That's where I make my money. It's actually not one of my stocks, but I've been looking at it.
Someone watching wrestling?
No.
John
It was a baseball
Cena.
game where this blonde chick with huge tits ran out across the field.
Oh.
And the announcer was like, look at those huge tits on that thing. Players can hardly focus now.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I didn't hear the first part. I just heard they look like they're about to have a seizure. They can hardly focus.
Wait, what's that? That video?
Somebody just sent it to me through Facebook.
Oh, you don't know the title? Commentator. Look at those things. Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Nope.
Oh yeah. I think this